Hiya, I am Green Herb Gaming, and this is the very first episode of something different that I wanted to do on YouTube, which is something about myself, where, you know, I want to tell people, I want to tell my subscribers and anybody watching this video just a little bit about who exactly I am. You might watch my videos, you see me as Johnny from Green Herb Gaming, you see me playing all these games, but I wanted to invite all of you, you know, into my world, into who exactly I am outside of gaming. So this is episode 1 of something about myself, and it's about my depression, because I suffer from depression on a daily basis, to be honest with you. It all started, well, I only started to take notice of my depression about a year and a half ago. It started with things in my life got a bit out of control. I was unemployed, and I was looking for work, and one of the job agencies that I was involved with presented to me a job offer that I wasn't particularly interested in, but I felt at the time that I was put into a position where I had no choice but to say yes. So I said yes to this job offer, and I surprisingly got the interview. And the whole time I know this is not for me, this job is not for me, I don't want this job, but again, at the time I felt pressured off. So I went to the interview anyway, did the interview, went home. I got a phone call the next day from this job, and they were happy enough with the interview, which surprised me. And you know, they just needed to clear up a couple of more things, references and stuff like that. But I just couldn't do it. I just wasn't the job for me. So I contacted my job agency, told them, look, this job is not for me. And there was a bit of hassle because of that. You know, there was a bit of hassle. And it just put me under a lot of pressure. And then I would have had the interview on the Thursday, and on the Saturday I got a massive panic attack, and I didn't even know what a panic attack was up until that moment. I had no idea what a panic attack was. I thought I was dying, like, honestly thought I was dying. I thought I was getting a heart attack. I shouldn't be laughing at this, you know, but I thought I was getting a heart attack. Honestly, my heart was beating so fast. I was getting a bit dizzy. I literally thought I was going to die. I didn't die. I was getting a panic attack. I didn't know at the time that I was getting a panic attack. And you know, that went on. These panic attacks, they went on for, I'd say, a solid week and a half, 2 weeks, to the point where every day in those days, in those 2 weeks, was an absolute struggle. Every second of the day just dragged on. It was like torture, man. Came to the stage where I couldn't function, so I needed to go to the doctor, and I was first diagnosed with, you know, you're getting panic attacks, and I needed something to calm me down because I couldn't relax, couldn't stay still. You know, it was just like constant panic attacks, you know. So I was prescribed these tablets that would calm me down. They did. Didn't exactly take away the problem completely. It helped a little bit. So then I finished my prescription, went back to the doctor, and I just told him that I still wasn't feeling any better, and that was when I was diagnosed with depression. And that was, again, like that was around a year and a half ago. So that's where it all began, really. I was diagnosed with depression, panic attacks. You know, it was a long year and a half. Very long year and a half. I was actually prescribed antidepressants, and with the help of myself and the help of my friends, I came to the conclusion that I was not going to take these antidepressants. Now, I know antidepressants, they help a lot of people. I don't want to offend anybody who may be going through depression. If it works for you, fantastic. However, I felt that it wasn't the right decision for me because I heard a lot about antidepressants. So I didn't take the antidepressants. I actually threw them into the bin on that night when I got them. My mother wasn't very happy about that, but I made that decision and I decided that I would just battle my depression, battle my panic attacks, and I've been fighting that battle, and it's not easy. It is not easy. My depression, it creeps up on me. You know, if my depression was a wrestler, it would be Randy Orton. An RKO out of nowhere. That's how my depression feels. So it still comes at me every now and again. Panic attacks, they're not as severe. They're definitely not as severe. Because the panic attack that I described earlier was the very first panic attack I got. The second panic attack I got was by far the worst. I honestly, truly felt like it didn't feel like I was going to die. I actually, like, I was, for all intents and purposes, I was dead. You know, my mind believed, okay, Johnny, this is it now. You're going to die in the middle of the street. That's how I felt at that stage. But my panic attacks haven't been as severe, but there is times where I do get them and my depression creeps up on me. So, okay, so yeah, for a year and a half I've been dealing with depression and panic attacks. Okay, so I'll talk just a little bit about what these panic attacks and depression mean to me, because I know panic attacks are different for everybody. They feel different. Everybody gets different symptoms. And depression is different for other people as well. So the panic attacks, the first two major panic attacks that I got, the only way I can describe it, you instantly feel, you just don't feel right. That's how I feel. It's just an instant feel. That's how it begins. Okay, I don't feel right, and then your heart races a little bit. My heart races a little bit. I could feel a kind of weird sensation in my stomach, like I'm kind of hungry but not hungry. Hello viewer who just tuned in. This is if you're regular to my channel, this is something completely new. If you're brand new, this is just something completely different that I wanted to do with my channel. I wanted to tell everybody who I am. like something about me that's not necessarily video game related, that it isn't just me playing a game like GTA and talking about GTA. I wanted to tell people about who I am. And I'm just talking about my depression. And I was just describing my depression and panic attacks and anxiety, because that's what I suffer about. I suffer with depression, panic attacks and anxiety. And I was just talking about the symptoms I get. So I was starting with, I was starting with my panic attacks. It's a strange sensation, really. It's an instant sensation. You just instantly know that you don't feel right. Sometimes it could be that I get a weird feeling in my stomach, like I feel hungry, even though I probably already ate. Then my heart will kind of race, and I just feel this sensation that something is not right here, and I'm going to faint, or I'm going to collapse, or something like that. Now, the first two panic attacks, they lasted quite a bit, and it resulted in me having to stop what I was doing, and I just needed to go home, like, and it got in the way of my life. Now, a year and a half later, I still get these panic attacks, but they're not as severe, but I still get a sensation. I could be in work. Happily, I am working now. I am not unemployed. I found a job that I absolutely love. And I'll talk about that in actually the next episode. I want to balance out. I don't want to tell you everything about myself in episode 1. But I do have a job now, and I'm happy with it, and I'll talk more about it in other episodes. But when I'm in work, I could get a panic attack. I could get a panic attack right now playing this game. I could get a panic attack out going for a walk. And again, the symptoms, I want you to focus on the symptoms here in this section. So, the symptoms, racing heartbeat, I could get sweaty, I could get very distracted. Just a weird feeling, but the biggest symptom is feeling like this is not right, like I'm not feeling right, and just the fear of that, Actually, it's quite hard actually to describe a panic attack. I didn't realise how hard it is to describe it really. It's different for everybody really, but so this sensation in my stomach, fast heart beating, and there's a very tightness in my stomach, but like a knot in my stomach, that kind of way, and just the feeling of not feeling right really. That's my panic attack. My depression, I describe that as an RPO out of nowhere, because that's how it feels. It just literally comes out of nowhere. There's no warning signs or nothing, and takes over my entire life, my depression. Yeah, it's just really deep and heavy. I just go into a zone, and everything around me just gets left behind. Like my family could be trying to have a conversation with me, and I'm having a conversation, but it's not real, it's not true. They're just words out of my mouth, they don't mean anything. So, I get upset, obviously, when I have the depression. It's just not a good place that I'm in. It's just not a good place to be in when I have my depression, really, Like, when I'm working, I can't concentrate when I have the depression. I can't play video games properly when I have my depression. So I suffer from it on a daily basis. I'm just trying to focus on the symptoms here of, how it feels. It's hard to describe really how it feels. It is quite hard. It's just, It's like something is attached to you, but you can't take it off. And you want to, but you can't. You know? If you know something is not right, but you can't quite, and you know you want to get rid of it, but you can't. You know, there's a lot of reasons why you have, anxiety is pretty much, I would tie that in with panic attacks. I think panic attacks is like a very, it's very severe anxiety. It's when your anxiety kind of gets out of hand, then you get the panic attack. So the anxiety kind of ties in really with the panic attacks. The depression, symptoms-wise, I'm just find the best way to explain. I could be playing a video game like GTA 3, and I could be really into it, and then the next minute I'll go very quiet. Like if I'm doing a stream, for instance, right, I could go very quiet, very distant, and I just go into my little bubble, and I just don't want to have anything to do with anything or anyone. It's tough going. So I don't know. What's the purpose of these episodes? Something about myself. It's just to kind of tell people who I am outside of the realm of video games, you know. And that's one of the things about me. I suffer from depression, and you know, I spoke a little bit about how it kind of started. Well, I don't know if it started a year and a half ago, to be honest with you. I'm beginning to think about that one, but I definitely took notice of it a year and a half ago. I do link the cause of the depression and panic attacks to a year and a half ago, when everything just kind of caught up with me. You know, when I was looking for a job. But it wasn't just that though. It wasn't just that. Like social life as well, and friends. Sorry, no, I'm just trying to kind of explain it. My social life was in a bit of a strange place. My social life was in a bit of a strange place. I had... Sorry, no.
Little Tommy, life was getting...
Like well, this is before a year and a half ago, I know, but I had a friend. And I would consider this friend a very good friend of mine. We had a lot in common. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, yeah, I've got a good friend. You know, I'm happy and things are going well. This day, this would have been, I don't know, 2 years ago. And to this day I don't understand what happened, but I don't understand what happened, but we just weren't friends anymore. I still scratch my head, wondering exactly why we're not, but we're not friends. We weren't friends anymore, and so I'm trying to figure out in my head like what happened, and then I'm trying to look for a job and took a job after that and wasn't for me, and everything just got out of hand, and that's where I got my panic attack. Kind of where the depression really kind of kicked in as well. So yeah, things weren't really. I wasn't really in a good place like a year and a half ago, you know. I didn't realise at the time, you know, you always hear people saying that, like, you don't really kind of realise, you don't really realise that you're hurting. It's like if you get a paper cut, but you don't realise that you got it, and then the next minute you look at your finger and it's bleeding, and it's only when you see the blood that you feel the pain. So what I'm basically saying is it took me a while to realise that I was actually hurting. And it was only when I felt the pain that I realised what was the cause of it, like, you know. It's like looking at the blood in your finger and realising, oh, I got a paper cut, and then the pain kicks in. So when I felt the pain of I suppose coming to terms with losing a good friend. He's still alive, he's not dead. But one minute I have this good friend, and like he was a good friend to me as well. Like, it wasn't just like I was a good friend to him, he was a good friend to me. We were good friends. And the next minute we're not. And to this day I still don't know why. And it's funny because we've spoken. It's funny. Like we've had, like, we've kind of bumped into each other a few times within that time, and it's just so weird. Like, we talk like everything is okay, and then it's like back to strangers again, and it's just really weird. So I suppose when I felt the pain of that, and when I felt the pain of just everything kind of catching up on me, like, you know, kind of forcing myself to go to an interview, to a job that wasn't for me, the pressure involved in that was unbelievable. Like, I mean, in one day, as part of I had like a kind of like a digital test, like I had to kind of do this test on the computer, because the job position was at a call center. So I had to do this little test on the computer. I had like an on the phone interview. I went out to get a new suit, like, and everything for the interview and all that, like, and I actually was opening up a bank account because my bank account had closed, so I had no bank account at the time, so I had to open up a new bank account. So I was doing all that in the one day. Interview was the following day, so it's just everything just caught up with me. You know, the end of a good friendship that didn't end on good terms. Do you know what I mean? Like, everything comes to an end. Friendships come to an end. You know what I mean? Like for various reasons. It could be, I don't know. It could be a friend might move away. Well, then again, that doesn't really mean at the end of a friendship. But you know what I mean? Like friendships end for various reasons, but it's kind of acceptable when you kind of know what happened. Like if I banged my best friend's wife, I'd be able to say, okay, Johnny, you know, that's why you're no longer friends with him. I can explain that, but there's no, like, I don't have any closure. I don't have any understanding as to why this person is no longer my friend. And we were good friends. We were close friends. We spent a lot of time together. We got on well together. We had a lot in common. And now it's like if I say hello to him, it's like I'm making an appointment with Donald fucking Trump. It's like, what the hell is going on here, like? And that still to this day goes through my mind, actually, to be quite honest with you. I do have a lot of great friends for years, like long before this friend, and I'm very appreciative of those friends. And they're living their own life right now. You know, they've got family now, they've got, you know, wife and kids now. You know, they've got full-time job. I have a part-time job. These friends have full-time jobs, wife and kids, and that's fine. Like, I understand that. Like, I still consider them good friends, and I'm lucky and privileged and honoured to have long-term, you know, childhood friends like that. But you know yourself, like you make friends every day of the week. You know, you make new friends every day of the week. There's nothing wrong with making new friends, you know. So I made a new friend, and he was a good friend. You know, I had a great time for him, and
Are you kidding me?
so yeah, without talking the entirety of the episode talking about this one friend, the what you call it, the end of that friendship, or can't think of a better word to use. You know, I did play the pain of that. You know, played a massive part in all of this, like in all of the depression and panic attacks. So yeah, I deal with that. And of course, there's some things I just cannot talk about. You know, I mean, we all have our issues. We all have our problems in life, and some things we just can't talk about. So there is that in my life. Like there is things that I cannot talk about that play a massive part in all of this, in my depression. Something, you know, that, you know, I deal with on a 24/7 basis. So that's a little bit about. No, I know we all, like, I mean, this like, part of my job is I get to see what other people have to go through in life, and it really puts my problems into perspective. Now, I know one guy who always said to me, what do you say again? Don't let somebody make your problem smaller than their, or something. Nobody's problem is smaller than the others, something like that anyway. But at the same time, in my line of work, like I do put things into perspective, and there's far bigger problems than mine out there, you know. At the same time, we're all dealing with our own fair share of issues in life, and no, this episode won't be hello viewer who has just tuned in. This is something very brand new to my channel, something about myself. This is the very first episode, I'm talking about my depression because I suffer from depression on a daily basis, and in this episode, first episode, that's what I'm talking about. So this is a brand new new thing that I'm doing on my channel, where I will be talking a little bit about myself. No, every episode won't be doom and gloom, and you know, but it is just a nice way to kind of kick off things by just kind of really kind of, I suppose, going into the deep end, like, you know, what I kind of suffer with, like, you know, and I do suffer with depression on a regular basis. So it's just nice to be able to lift the veil, lift the curtain on Johnny from Green Herb Gaming, like, you know, give you a bit of an insight into my life, you know. And in future episodes you'll be hearing about, you know, my work, my other hobbies, could even be family. Although I might have to ask my family in advance. But just anything. No, I'm not promising you I'm not promising you 10 episodes. It could just be 3 episodes. You know, I'm not promising you weekly episodes, but we'll see what happens. I'm not committing to anything as of right now. But I just think it would be a good idea just to kind of, I suppose, you always hear about privacy on social media, and I'm kind of doing the opposite, really. I'm kind of exposing myself. I'm kind of, you know, I'm willing to kind of share with people who I really am. I'm not hiding who I am, and who knows, I could help people, you know, who may have depression. No, I'm not qualified to help anybody with depression. Let me just say that, you know, I didn't mean that. But like, I know there's people out there other than me who have depression. You know, I know there's billions of people who suffer from depression on a daily basis, and you know, we're not alone. Like, it's not just you, it's not just me, it's a lot of people suffer from depression on a daily basis. So I suppose this episode kind of makes you feel like you're not kind of the only person. But yeah, I suppose there's no reason to kind of keep this video on for too long. What time is it now? I suppose I'll end it in about 5, maybe 10 minutes. So I don't really know where this is going to go, this new section of my YouTube channel, something about myself. I have no idea what the future holds for something about myself, but the purpose of it was to just to expose myself a little bit more, to talk about myself, other than, oh, I like Resident Evil, oh, I like Super Mario Odyssey. Like, I wanted to go a little bit deeper than that, like, and I wanted to really tell you about myself, you know, really kind of get personal, you know, so you know a lot more about me. And this is the very first episode, and I'm getting right in there in the deep end, discussing my depression. So that is something about me, like, that I won't hide. Like, I mean, every day of the week I suffer from depression. I suffer from panic attacks, and it does get in the way of my daily life, my work life, my family life, my social life, my whole entire life. So it's now something that all of you know. So it's not just something that, you know, I talk about you know, in my head or my close family. That's now something that the entire world knows.
What?
And why not? Why not tell the world that, you know?
Always trouble.
So that's pretty much what the purpose of something about myself is.
I've been drinking again.
So I probably will encourage people to kind of, I suppose, be themselves on YouTube. Really be themselves on YouTube, you know? Like, talk about who they really are, like. Oh, I'm going to Chinatown now. But yeah, so it's not all smiles and laughter for Johnny. It's not all smiles and laughter for Green Herb Gaming. A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, said to me on Friday night, bumped into him after I hadn't seen him for a while, and he's very, very funny. He always makes me laugh, always makes me smile. I swear to God, he is literally one of, if not the funniest people I know, funniest person I know, and I'm not just saying that. So I said to him, I'm deadly serious, like, I mean, I told you earlier in the video that I was prescribed antidepressants and I didn't take them, I threw them in the bin. I said to my friend, I said, you're the cure for depression. And, you know, I meant that, like, I mean, I swear to God, like, if I was having a bad day, he would just cheer you up, like, instantly. And he's naturally funny, like, he's got that natural humour to him. Like, he doesn't try to be funny. It's just anyway. So, how the fuck did I get talking about that? But shit, losing my fucking concentration now. But yeah, oh yeah. So I was saying it's not all smiles and laughter for Johnny, and what he said to me, I suppose it kind of got me thinking. Like, I was like, oh fuck, you know. Fuck, he said something, no, but it was more along the lines of you don't really know what's going on inside that person's head. Like the person who's always laughing, the person who's always joking, you don't know what that person themselves is going through, you know. And it's kind of the same here, really, because when I do these streams of Green Herb Gaming, and I'm like really getting into the game, and I'm all happy. There's going to be something on my mind that I'm thinking about, you know. And I mean, I could be chronically depressed playing a stream, playing a game, you know. I could be chronically depressed. I could be getting a panic attack halfway through the fucking stream. So I suppose what I'm really saying is there's a lot going on behind the scenes in Green Herb Gaming. Like, Johnny goes through a lot, you know, and this, I suppose, was a bit of a kind of an exposure episode, really, of who Johnny really is and what really goes on in the life of Johnny, you know. And now this is the part where I always do this, whether it's Green Herb Gaming, whether it's just random videos or this brand new, I always waffle at the end of the videos. I always do that. It's like a section of the video, like, where it's like a fucking podcast. It's like the end of the podcast, we just talk about biscuits. Did you try the new McVitie's biscuit? I did, it's lovely. The one with the seeds in it. And then you kind of realise what the fuck is the point of the whole video, like what are we talking about again, like, you know, and then you bring it back to what it was. And yeah, so I'm going to try to bring it back now, and then properly end the video. So there's a lot about Green Herb Gaming, there's a lot about Johnny that you don't know about. All you know about Johnny from Green Herb Gaming is games. I like Grand Theft Auto, I like Resident Evil, I like Super Mario. You know, that's really all you've known up until now. So with this brand new section of my YouTube channel, something about myself, I wanted to do just that. Tell you something about myself, you know, about my life, about my personality, about who I am. And I decided to really get things, you know, kick things off with, you know, episode 1, you know, discussing my depression, because I'm from Ireland, in case you haven't, you know, noticed my Irish accent. Although I've been told I don't really have a strong Irish accent, I just don't know what that's about. But anyway, it could be worse. It could be those like teenage emos outside Tesco. Same dude. Yeah, bro. You want to go to Subway, bro? You know, I could be talking like that, couldn't I? So, cut me some fucking slack, right? No offense to any emos who use Tesco as their preferred shopping centre. My apologies. So yeah, what am I saying? So in Ireland, there's a massive. Let me get serious now, seriously for a second. There's a massive, like, suicide epidemic in this country right now, Ireland. Massive mental health epidemic. So many people dealing with depression right now, to the point where, like, I originally thought she was 12, but I was made aware that she was actually 11. An 11-year-old girl committed suicide. That's how bad.
I gotta go on vacation.
Me and you both. Sorry. I shouldn't be making this funny. This is not a funny situation. She came to a stage where she had to end her own life at 11 years of age. That's the... Sorry, no, this is fucking triad chasing me. Sorry, this... GTA is not the kind of game to be playing when you're discussing something like this. Oh god. But they're still behind me. Oh, sorry now about this. Fuck. But there's a massive epidemic in this country. So, for me to kind of, I suppose, you know, give myself some credit, like, you know, for me to have the strength to kind of openly discuss my depression, I just thought that would be a positive way to kick off this new section of my channel, telling me about a little bit about myself. So yeah, I really have kicked things off, you know, with a very kind of open episode. It just really kind of talking about like the origins of my panic attacks, which is where it all really kind of, I suppose, took notice of. I was describing it as like when I took notice of my panic attacks and depression and anxiety, as like getting a paper cut. You know, like, do you ever get that paper cut where you don't know that you've actually been cut, but it's only when you start kind of feeling like a pinch or a pain, and you look down your finger and you see blood, and you're like, oh, I've gotten a paper cut. So for me, that's how I kind of took notice of my anxiety, depression and panic attacks. I felt the pain, and I looked at myself, and I looked at everything that was going on, and I realised, well, this is why I'm hurting. This is why I'm getting a panic attack. This is why I have depression. And I I linked it to dealing with the end of a very good friendship. An end that wasn't quite an end. Like, I have no closure. And also, you know, a lot going on with me looking for work and taking job positions that really weren't for me, and only saying yes because I felt like I was forced to say yes. So that's where I linked. I looked at my little paper cut, and I, you know, felt the pain, and that's where I was able to kind of piece it all together. And I was talking a little bit about, I'm recapping the entire fucking video here, aren't I? I was talking then about the symptoms. The symptoms of a panic attack, like a straight out panic attack, is, it's like you're gonna, well, the original 2 panic attacks were like I was getting a heart attack. Thankfully, they haven't been as bad, no. But I still get them, and they can range from, you know, they could range from, you could even get pains in your chest sometimes. You could have like a very like fast heart rate, and you just get that feeling of something is not right. But they generally last between 5 to 10 minutes and they're gone. Nowadays, anyway, they do. So that's kind of the symptoms really of panic attack and anxiety. Depression, it's like, you know, a lot of people call it a cloud or a fog, and that's really, I suppose, the only way to kind of describe it. It's like you're just not clear, you know, like you're not quite, things aren't quite clear, you know, and it's dark, and it's just not a good place to be in. But so that's the symptoms really. And there's other causes too, you know. But as I said, like in the video as well, that there's just some things I'm not going to be talking about, because everyone has things that they just, you know, I'm not going to be that open, you know. But yeah, so next time you hear Johnny from Green Herb Gaming, you're gonna know a hell of a lot more about me, other than, oh, that's the guy who likes to play Mario, or that's the guy who likes to play Resident Evil. You know, this is the guy that got a panic attack and thought he was going to die. And I'm ready for, you know, this is the internet, you know, this is 2017, soon to be 2018, and it is YouTube, and it's going to be a comment section, so I'm ready for the, you know, the trolls and all that. Like, I'm ready for that. Like, I'm ready for that. Don't kill me. I want to look at this. I'm being shot at, and I'm looking at graffiti on the wall. Not shooting me at all. Oh man, he's calling for his buddy. What's that gun? Give me a gun. Yeah, so that has been episode 1 of Something About Myself. Perfect timing because my mother is phoning me there. So listen, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully there'll be an episode 2, and thank you again.